go! First, before I ask my questions, I want to thank you for giving me the time. And before we start, please introduce yourself to the fans. I would like you to just give them an idea exactly about you and what you work and everything that would you like to say.
Yeah, well, I'm Lorenzo Contucci. I'm 46, and I'm a former Roma Ultras. And now I am a criminal lawyer, and I defend also Ultras in Italian. I'm a supporter of Roma since ever. I have been Ultras for about 25 years now. I still watch the game, but I don't act anymore like an Ultras, you know.
Now, you said you're the lawyer of the Ultras, right?
Right. I defend a lot of Italian Ultras groups every day.
Okay. Now, before I ask you questions about what's going on in Egypt, what do you know about the situation with the Ultras in Egypt?
I know quite well what's happened in the past month, because we know about what happened in, I can't remember the name of the town, but I know what happened to Al-Ali supporters, and I know that now Ultras are protesting against the Egypt League and against their club, because they want to start again with the championship before getting justice.
What do you think of this, and what do you think of them going to the federation, to the club, and they're very angry, and because, you know, their friends died, 75 people or 74 people, it's not an easy thing, so how do you see it?
So I think they are right, because also in Italy happened something not so big like in Egypt, but when a Lazio fan was killed by the police, Gabriele Sandri, Italian Ultras stopped the championship because they wanted justice, you know. So if it happened such a big thing like in Egypt with the 76 death and the responsibility may be of the police, I think it's normal to ask for justice and clearness before starting again, because if you don't have justice, it could happen again.
One of the things that people are talking about right now, and some people taking sides, some people agree with the Ultras, some people attacking the Ultras, the case is in court. Why don't you just wait until the judge make a decision and let football go on? What would you tell people when you hear this?
You know, in England they had to wait 20 years to have justice for the Hillsborough tragedy, where 96 Liverpool fans died. So I think that if the people, and I don't talk anymore about Ultras, but if the people doesn't react in any way, it's possible that things are covered. Because I speak for Italy, usually when tragedies involve the police, if you don't keep the attention high, the judges try to cover the activity of police, you know. So I think that in some way it's better to make a demonstration, to make people understand that Ultras and their fans are very have their attention on what's happening, you know.
I see. Okay, now if this is happening in Italy, what would the reaction would be, you think?
If something if something happened like in Egypt, I think Ultras will react in the same way, because you know, it's not easy to go on when 76 people died, not only because of the other team fans, but with some cooperation of police. Or this is what we understood in Italy. I don't know if it's true that police helped the other fans to attack the Halifax. But I think that in Italy would happen exactly the same. If it already happened for one fan shot by the police, I think that it should happen also for 76 fans.
Ultras get very angry at the players for playing the Super Cup. I'm not sure if you heard that or not. Also, they're angry at the club itself because they feel they could have done more in the case. How do you see it, and what do you think of the reaction? Is it right? Is it wrong? I want to get your opinion.
I think that the ultras think that themselves are the club. So if the feeling of ultras, so the most hardcore part of the fans, act in this way, I think that the club should reason on it. You know, I think it's quite normal. I don't feel that AS Roma, my team, is ruled by fans of AS Roma. I think that AS Roma are the 2 million people that support every Sunday AS Roma. So if people of Roma decide to make a struggle, make a protest against my club, I think it can be I can understand this.
But what happens if it's only ultras? What happens if it's only ultras?
I don't know how many people are ultras in Egypt in the fans. I know that the ultras movement in Italy is quite strong. I think only that ultras are the more faithful part of the fans. Ultras are the ones that always follow their team at home and away, if there is the snow, if there is the rain, if there is the sun. So in my opinion, I would hear more the opinion of ultras than the opinion of normal fans that watch the match from TV.
Okay, and it's basically they're talking about the mentality of ultras that it's not a good thing to have in a country. What would you say to something like that?
Difficult question because I have to say that the violence we saw in Egypt is not common in Italy and in Europe because ultras in Italy and in Europe usually don't use weapons, and it's quite rare, and so it's impossible to think a massive violence like the one we saw that day. In the ultras mentality, for sure, there is also the confrontation with other ultras, but it's not very common that ultras attack so-called normal fans. It can happen that if you follow your team everywhere, it can happen that there are problems with other team. I talk for myself. When you go in Naples, you can see that the normal people from the houses throw you things from the windows. So it's normal between it's quite normal that there could be some confrontation with other fans. I think that the clubs for too many times they have washed their hands, and I think that if the clubs of a country cooperate between themselves, they can make pressure on the international organism. So I think in Italy we have problems like this. We have something like the fan card, so-called tessera del tifoso. That is stupid thing, I think, that has been put on by Interior Ministry. And I think that if the clubs said no to things like this, something can change. Obviously, if the clubs don't do anything, nothing will change.
Okay, your final message to ultras in Egypt and to the people who attack the ultras, and what would you say as someone who former ultras and also a lawyer of them right now?
I have to say that for me they are right, and that they must continue the struggle, because 76 people dead cannot be forgotten so soon. They must justice, and when you ask for justice, also against the police, it's better to do a strong protest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't matter about people against ultras because it's a subcultural word. So it's like to say to people that live on Earth to say something to people that live on Mars. They speak ultras speak different languages from normal people. And if you ask to an Egyptian ultras what does it mean to be an ultras, he will answer the same like in Italy. That ultras, you live ultras 7 days on 7. And this is the reason why the government has a fear of ultras, because probably ultras had a part in the Egyptian revolution, and this is the reason why in Europe all the government are make a very attention to what happened between ultras, because they have the fear that from ultras start a revolution in Europe too.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope I didn't give you so much headache with my questions.
I hope that I was quite understood, that you understood me.
Your English is fine. I understand everything you said. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.